But Indigo is finally out, and we got like a lot of things.
We got a lot.
If you guys didn't know,
of
last
things.
Sunday was our reaction video to Wildflower.
Yes.
If you haven't, give it a little look.
A little looks.
Maybe
we've
we
already
can link it in the information thingy.
Yes, it's like somewhere up here.
Somewhere.
Already I'm seeing like a couple. I've responded to a couple of comments, so thank you so much for enjoying the video and liking it so much, and we really appreciate it. So we got quite a bit. So let's talk about the album first before we dive into like all of the other promotional stuff that Junie has done. So the album, thoughts. What did you think?
So first thing you need to know is that I was able to listen to the full album only, I don't remember exactly when. I was in my car. If you don't know, we have a subwoofer in the car. That shit banging though.
Yes.
Even like the more mellow and like slower ones were just like so intricate, but also you could feel everything that he wanted you to feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, I told you like before we started, it's just like it's an album where like no matter what you're going through or been through or are going to go through, you feel heard, you feel safe, you feel at peace somehow.
Yeah. I agree. There's something about,
nice.
It's just
feels nice.
Yeah. Well, because, like he said, it's an homage to his 20s. It's a, like saying goodbye to your 20s basically and heading into your like adult life. And I think that really is shown through this album. And he has like a very I don't know, interesting way of showcasing emotion in different like sort of sounds. And he has a video out. It's Indigo magazine, which is like basically he talks to like all the artists. They all like talk about their parts, and he talks about the album in its entirety. And basically he was saying that it's divided into 3 parts, which you could definitely tell through the flow of this album. So it's like, like the first sort of like 5 songs is like that beginning part, and then the middle is like change, and then we head into the last like part of that album, and you can tell like it's super thought out so well. And honestly, like I don't think we can do it justice to explain this album better than he can, so go and watch that video because he really just goes on an in-depth journey with the album from start to finish.
That, but also like we've said this like numerous times that Junie has his own way with words that you're able to just like comprehend and understand.
Like
throwing at you.
What are your favorite songs off the album?
Oh God. Let me pull this up because I'm bad with names. Obviously Wildflower.
Yes. Top tier.
Yeah. Lonely.
Yeah, that's on mine too.
Forgetful.
Yeah.
And Still Life. I love all of them. It's really hard. But those are the one that kind of like I mean All Day too. Those are the 5 that stood out to me.
For me, Wildflower and Lonely are both on that list. Lonely like hits me in a place that I didn't even realize.
When I saw your post, I was like, I feel the exact same fucking way.
Like it's super hard to explain when like someone like myself who doesn't necessarily express those emotions very often,
or like having a really hard time doing so.
Yeah, to be able to like listen to a song and be like, that's it, that's exactly how I feel sometimes. My other one is Change.
Change part 2 is also really good.
It's really good. I don't know what it is about that song that I like so much. This
album is
it's all good. And All Day, I would agree, is on my list as well, because it's just there's something about All Day that I'm just like, yes.
I know, right? Also, Hectic kind of hit.
Hectic
different.
is interesting. I actually really enjoy that song. And
Didn't it just hit different?
It does. The visualizer to that is also so interesting because it's kind of shot in this way where it's like everything is like whizzing around you.
Yeah.
They do this thing with time. Like you can basically time lapse an image to make it like look like that. And when you speed it up in like a video format, you can make it look like it's like whizzing around and you have like these light leaks that like come from images. So it's super interesting that they use that as Hectic because it honestly, like the visuals plus the sound together just make it so obvious.
Yeah.
And we were really surprised this morning
oh my god
to get a still life music video.
Okay, but like
me?
they released the teaser and
Yeah.
like 2 hours
later
they were like, we can't wait, we're releasing it now. Do you want to watch it together?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Okay. Let me actually open the video first so I don't show all my things. You know?
Yeah, because Still Life is a very interesting song with Anderson .Paak. I feel like it's super fun and super like
Let me bring you over here.
There's something interesting about it that I like a lot.
Sorry. Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have some fun. It's so good.
It's so good. It's so much fun.
I just kind of wish that Anderson .Paak could have been in the video.
Yeah.
But it's still very good.
Yeah. I love this look on Junie. He looks like a boyfriend who you're like meeting. I love this too.
The vibe is so good.
It's so good. Look at that.
It's kind of a nice break of the more like nostalgic feel.
Yeah. Oh, he's just so good. Come on.
I'm ascending.
I love this like photos that they've sort of stacked together when he like goes out. It's so good. That must be practical. Oh, it's just so good.
Yeah, your old time, dude.
So good. I love this vibe.
Yeah,
because it's also so different.
It's also like very much an Anderson .Paak vibe.
For sure.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Also, them chompers though. Stompers.
Stompers, I think. I do also love this song too because it really talks about like we're sort of like still moving through life, even though like you want things to be on pause, you want to like stop.
Yeah. I just really love all like the art references that he was able to put through either the titles and the lyrics all throughout the album.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. I feel the same way with this song, you know, like to start the album with You, like it really sets the tone and the mood for the rest of the album like so well.
Oh my god, he's moving, Jess.
I know. This was like shot. This is really interesting because like this was shot twice basically. So
yeah,
you got one shot where he's like sitting there, and then a plate, like a VFX plate that just has the window, and then the shot of him out like on the window, and then you just like match them together. So good. I love all the practical stuff that Hive does because it makes these music videos like so much more I don't know, like good.
It's kind of like it's simple but it works.
Yeah. It's such a good visualizer for still life. I feel like anything else maybe would have been too much, but the fact that it was like, you know, like really simple, like one train, constantly moving shots, like it works. Like it's one of these things where it's like a perfect juxtaposition to the song itself of wanting like to stay in the same position but constantly be moving in different directions.
Also like it works with the song itself. Yeah, like we're saying, it's like it's still alive, but it's moving.
It's moving.
Literally.
Yeah. So good. I'm so glad we got that song. Again, like this whole album is just so freaking beautiful, and I'm glad that he did, like, he has a couple of lives. So he did his live for the actual like concert portion of it, and then we got another live after he was done his private like 200 ARMY concert in Seoul, and he seems so much lighter now that this album is out. I feel like he's
remember that one like live where he was just saying that how exhausted he was?
Yeah, I think that was during PTD Las Vegas. I think he was like in his hoodie. Yeah, I think that was the last day of PTD.
It kind of feels like he like finally got out of that tunnel.
Yeah, you know? Because he was saying like in one of the lives that you know, this album is he's been like working on it forever, but now that it's like out, it's like a weight, and it's like it's ready to. He's ready to like.
Congratulations! You gave birth to a baby boy.
Yeah. Well, I think he called it his baby girl.
Well, his baby. It doesn't really matter what.
Yeah,
it is.
And
so
you know,
congratulations, it's a baby.
Yeah. And he even said like during the live, he was like, you know, I didn't make it for like charts and album sales and whatever. I made it because I wanted to.
No, and we take care of that, Julie.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, it wasn't about that for him. It was about he had some things that he needed to get off his chest, and this was the way that he needed to do it. And I think it was perfectly put. I think like for us, we're going through the emotions because he just released it, but for him, I feel like because he has this album, he's processed all of his emotions.
Yeah,
and
he's been working on it for so long.
Yeah. So I feel like every single live I've seen him in, or like even the streaming party that he had yesterday, he was just so like free. Like there's something unburdening about him lately.
He sounds and looks like a lot more peaceful.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like we were getting that like early 2019 Junie. You know, like Persona era kind of thing. Yeah. It feels like we're getting that Junie back, but on crack.
Yeah.
Like even more.
Well, and he even said, he's like, well, I'll probably release another album before I go. And I was like, sir, I'm not over this one. What do you, what? Excuse me?
I've said like one album and June said, I'm going to exceed expectations.
June said, just kidding, you wish.
But also like, it's really nice that like, as much as I really love his mixtapes, but like this being his official first solo album, like under the label, it feels like kind of extra special.
It does. It really does. And the amount of like promotion and like material we've gotten for this album, like the Tiny Desk performance was amazing, honestly. Yeah. There's like, it's so good.
I mean, Tiny Desk performances are always so good.
They're so good. We've seen like BTS's Tiny Desk, and it's
the Save Me Tiny Desk version will always be my favorite.
Me too. Save
Me because of the live band and how much fun they're having.
Yeah. If you guys are like new, Save Me is my ARMY song. It's my first BTS song like I've ever listened to, and so it has a very like special place for me. And that performance,
like you had it tattooed on your arm.
I literally do. But that performance of Tiny Desk is like it lives in my mind rent free, like forever and always. And I think the Tiny Desk honestly was the perfect way to like release his album. It's such a Namjoon thing to do. It's the same thing with his like 200 like person event.
He wanted something like very more like a lot more personal, a lot more calm in some way.
Yes.
Also him like giving like little gifts to the armies that could go to that concert is absolutely. Also, the gift that he gave was very Junie.
It's so Junie.
And I am so happy to all like the K Diamonds that could go
Yes.
and enjoy that and have that time with him.
Yeah. Without like any like phones or like any distractions. It was just like him playing music, and
it was just him and those 200 armies.
Yeah. Also like him saying in one of the lives, like, I'll always be your June. Stop it. Almost stop. I can't. I'm gonna cry. Also like him saying like, I'm proud of you too. I love you.
Do you know how many of those, like that clip from TikTok that I saved on my phone, because when I'm gonna need it, I'm gonna listen to it on repeat.
On repeat. It's like downloaded on my phone.
There was another one that was really funny. Let me try and find it.
He during like the live after his like album release was really funny because somebody called him daddy and he was like, I'm not a father yet. Immediately shut down. I was like, whoever did that, excuse me, Army, like we gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, we gotta talk.
We gotta chat.
Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. That one made me cry.
No, that one made me absolutely cry. Absolutely in tears.
I might not have saved it, but that's a lot of Subin photos, and I'm here for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's this one. Real footage of my parents talking about me.
Yeah, like what did I make? I don't know. It's my son, it's my daughter, but still, I just can't figure it out.
Oh my god, Junie. God. Oh,
what did I make? Lord. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but I love it. I also do love the song choices that he picked for the Tiny Desk performance as well, because it was really like, first of all, soul.
I mean, he couldn't. He couldn't not.
It's true. You know? Yoon and Still Life. I feel like those are really interesting choices for the Tiny Desk performance, which I love. Still Life is super fun, so I'm like, I kind of figured he would do that one. Yoon is such an interesting song. Like, it's so cool sounding and interesting, very unique. I like it a lot. I love also like he picked genres that go together, even though they're not like together, if that makes sense. Like, they're all like different, but they still fit really well together in all of these things.
But different.
Same but different. Same but different. Same but different. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I could ramble about that forever. Let me tell you.
Did we make it through?
Almost. There's one more interview that we need to talk about, and that is with Zach. Of course. So, first of all, Zach, I really respect Zach a lot for the artists that he has on his shows, because
a lot of the K-pop artists really, really appreciate Zach.
Yes, because it's not, he's so well researched, first of all, like extremely well researched, with all of his artists that he brings on the show. K-pop, non-K-pop, doesn't matter. And he asks such super and interesting questions. Like,
he's also very well spoken,
super well spoken. And the fact that like Junie feels like comfortable with him, and like even like the entirety of BTS feels so comfortable with him. Like, his question about friendship was really interesting to me, because, you know, it would suck to like not be able to really make real friends because everybody is like after your fame, or like they're scared to get close to you because like you have this giant fandom that is like, you know, sometimes we're a little judgmental, just a little bit. We're a little bit protective, a little bit judgmental. And I think that
it's deserved though.
Most of the time, yes, absolutely, it's deserved, 100%. But it's interesting that he pointed out that, and also concluded with like, that's why I'm so grateful I have my members as like a friendship, because they understand exactly what I'm going through. And it's not really the first time that has been mentioned, because Jin had already talked about that on what was that show that he was on? I don't remember. I'm sorry. There's a lot of content here.
Well, Hobie kind of also hinted at it when he was on IU's palette too.
Yes, that too. Yeah, friendships are really hard to make, and especially really good friendships are hard to make because you're not sure if somebody actually likes you for you or they
mean, even like within one group, like it's pretty common in the K-pop industry for like group members not necessarily like each other.
Yeah, true.
I feel like nowadays it's maybe not as common, or they're like pretty good at hiding it, but I feel like a lot of the groups now, they really do feel like either like friends or like even family, and not just within. I mean, like Hive has been doing really good at making groups with people that actually like they know that they're gonna end up like working really well together, and not just like on a like work like side of things, but also like on the personal side of things. But like in general, I feel like agencies and stuff like that have been doing a lot better job. And what BTS has is like super special, because when third gen was like when we were in third gen, I feel like it was a bit unusual, not unusual, but like not as seen as it is now.
Yes, for sure.
And so like him saying that and responding to that question in that way is just a testament of how special their friendship is.
Oh, totally. And again, like I gotta praise Zach for that too, for like asking that question, because I don't think, that those kind of questions are necessarily like asked or even like talked about, especially like from the side of like
but also from the side of like, oh, a new album came out, let's talk about your friends.
Yeah, well,
that's something you see often,
it kind of like really leads into Change, Namjoon's like song off the album, because like things change, people change, everything changes, and I feel like that is such a powerful thing. And like friendships, they evolve and change over time, and sometimes you lose them and sometimes you gain them, and it's sort of like this like balancing act of stuff. But the interview is so good. I really recommend like going to watch it and listening to it, because it's extremely good. And Zach does a really good job at being a really good interviewer, which is not something that we can say very often with a lot of like especially Western media.
Yeah, I think the other one that's like really appreciated is Liam. Is that his name?
Oh yes, Liam.
The one with like really long curly hair.
Yes, that's Liam.
Yeah, that's another one that's really appreciated of the like K-pop idols.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're gonna ask somebody a question, like make it be intelligent and make it be like deep enough. That's not just like, who do you want to collaborate next with?
Yeah, make it deep enough that the artists actually want to answer the question, but also like that the fans will want to watch the interview.
Because like we know as ARMY, like how many interviews have we listened to and watched where it's the same question? We know exactly what that answer is. Like it's nothing that we haven't heard before. Whereas every time they go on like Zach or Liam's show, it's like, oh, I didn't even think to ask that. That's such an interesting
because like
question.
For sure there's some questions that are come back because over time maybe the answer will change.
Sure.
But there's always like room to be able to ask new ones.
Oh yeah.
That you 100%. May not have thought of.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I love Indigo. Go and stream it. I've made some playlists. They're in the link down below. Yeah. You already know. One is called I'm Effing Lonely, so just like forewarning.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And the gut feeling one. I'm sorry.
Cool.